Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. All right. So today I've got Ed with me. Now, Ed is again one of my senior chef of parties. He's been with us now for 12 years.
Yes.
For 13 years. So massive commitment to the club. One of the stalwarts of the kitchen and an absolute backbone. It's an absolute delight to work with Ed. And as you can see, I'm going to be a bit of a fish out of water today. One of the requests from last week was curry pastes, or in particular Thai curry pastes. So I thought it would be ideal to get a Thai person in. So I'm going to tell a Thai person how to cook Thai food, which makes an awful lot of sense to me, but no one else. But there you go. So he will be keeping an eye on me today. No. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of curry pastes and then have a go at making 2 curries with them. So the first curry paste we'll make is a red curry paste, and we'll follow that with a red duck curry. And we're going to make a green, or we've actually made a green curry paste, and we're going to be following that up with the green Thai curry. The reason I'm going to show you how to make 2 pastes is because the process is exactly the same, just slightly different on ingredients. There's Ross bombing the video because he needs to. So without further ado, we'll begin now. We sent out, I believe, some recipes. If you didn't get the recipes, just give us a shout. We can send them out again. But when you make your pastes, you can make them 3 different ways. You can either make them in a mortar and pestle, which without question gives you a far better flavour. But it is a long process, and it is an arduous one, erroneous, lots of pounding. And if you do want to do that, fabulous. All you need to do when you make a curry paste in a mortar and pestle is to start with the hard, fibrous peppercorns ingredients first, slowly adding the soft one, pounding everything to a fine paste as you go. So you probably start off with the lemongrass, with the peppercorns, nice one, smooth paste, and you kind of finish up with your crushed garlic and things like that. So that's the way you do it if you want to do it in a mortar and pestle. The second way of doing it is through a mixer, and you mix it through 3, 4, or however many times it takes. I'll explain what I mean by that in a second, and to get a nice fine paste. That's a really good way of doing it because you don't heat the ingredients up, so you're not cooking them too early or heating them up and losing some of their flavours too early. The third way, which is the way that we use, is by using a food blender. Now we've got a RoboCook, what it's called?
The Thermomix.
Yeah, Thermomix. So we use a Thermomix as opposed to a food blender. The difference being a Thermomix has got 4 blades, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that turns your ingredients into a fine paste. Whereas if you've got a 2-blade food processor, it will take a lot longer. You won't get as finer products, and you'll warm everything up, and it will start to cook the paste, which is what you don't really want. And the idea of making any paste, and it doesn't matter whether it's red, green, yellow, jungle, doesn't matter, is that you want to end up with a product that is so smooth, you taste the flavours of the paste, not the texture. Okay, that's probably the most important thing. However, and that's with whichever way you make it. But either way, but whichever way you choose to make it, it's going to be better than the products that you buy in a can or in one of the plastic tubs. Okay, so that's kind of a bit of history, if you like, or the rudimentary housekeeping of making a paste. So we're going to make the red curry paste, and literally I've got my set of ingredients here. and I'll explain as each one goes in. But we've got the roasted dry seeds, which in here I've got coriander, cumin, and cloves. Okay, so this is the red curry. So literally, when we say dry roasted, all we're literally doing is getting the frying pan, putting it on the stove, and literally cooking it until you can start smelling the fragrance out of it. Yeah?
Yep.
Yes, okay. So that's what that is. You put that, I've already roasted this. Put that into your blender. I've pre-cut some lemongrass here, just to make it easier, make the blender's job easier. I'm going to put that in. I've got some white peppercorns. I've got some salt. Remembering salt is an abrasive as well, so it helps to break it all up. To help the blender, I've pre-cut my garlic, or pre-chopped it. That goes in. I've got literally some roasted shallots. And with the roast shallots, literally in an oven, 10 minutes so they go golden brown. Okay? So they go in there. Some of the and that gives a slightly deeper flavour, a more roasty, toasty flavour. And then regular shallots, again, I've just chopped them up, no particular special way. I've got lime leaves, kaffir lime leaves, beg your pardon. I've got some, now, this is one thing where my Thai army, because I've got about 5 of them, there's 5 Thai in them, and they're all fantastic. They're the best chefs on the planet. However, for this recipe, they're recommending this many chilies. Wow. Okay, so it's not, so this isn't for the faint-hearted, but this is a true, authentic chili paste, or red curry paste, okay? So these are red chilies, dried red chilies that have been soaked, okay? And again, the soaking makes you enables you to blend it properly, okay? I've got some shrimp paste, or black jam paste, okay, and that goes in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that to Ek to blend. In the blending process, this will probably be a little dry. To help with that, we can add water. What you don't want to add is oil. Oil will make it go kind of, it will emulsify and become thick, and then that won't actually disperse evenly through your curry. It can be a bit funky. Some people say you can use coconut milk. Again, same sort of thing, and with coconut milk, it will after a couple of days, if you don't use the paste up, it will start to sour the curry paste. So water's the best way of doing it, and it's just enough to get the whole process going nice and smooth. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pass it over to it. He's literally just going to blend it for about 3-4 minutes roughly to make it super smooth. Okay, I'll pass over to you, mate. Thank you very much. So whilst that's pureeing, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the green curry. So those ingredients, this is the green curry paste that we've made. This is the green curry paste that we've made, and we're doing exactly the same thing, but with slightly different ingredients. But as it's doing now, pureeing up to a really fine paste. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's really, it's kind of super smooth, and there's no bits there. It doesn't feel grainy. Okay, so that's what you want. You want a really smooth, non-grainy sort of paste. Okay, so once you've made that green curry paste, and make a green curry. And green curries are probably the most traditional of all the curries. Sorry for the noise in the background, we've got a turn on this going. To make a green curry, and again, what is a very good word, start off. It's actually a very simple process. I've got coconut green. And I've got coconut milk. Now, I know that doesn't look a lot different, That coconut cream. I want to think that is generally the first pressing of the coconut. Coconut, and that's, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, that's quite dollopy. Okay. Whereas coconut milk, which is kind of the second pressings, is literally really liquid. Okay, so that's really fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the coconut cream, the thick one, and we're going to pour that in a pot. I'm going to boil it so that it actually splits. So you know, like when you're whipping cream, if you whip it too much, it splits, or if you boil it, it splits. We're using that technique on the coconut cream to split it. We actually want the split. That'll probably take a couple of minutes. So from here is how's that place on it? So how did you try last week's recipes? You did? Yeah, excellent. How did you go with it? And I had Diane come in and talk about the nemesis, which was great. We'll wait a couple of minutes. Has anyone got any questions on curry pastes at the moment? If you have, just flick them in the box. I'll see if I can answer them. What can you use instead of coconut cream or milk? You can't. It's if it's not you can't make a Thai green curry or a Thai red curry without coconut milk or coconut cream. You can kind of make I don't know. I personally, I would choose to make something different or a different style of curry that doesn't require coconut milk or cream. So you're probably heading down an Indian curry or a Sri Lankan curry, something like that. But if you want to make a Thai red curry and a Thai green curry, one of the intrinsic ingredients is coconut cream or milk. So I'd maybe look at a different style of curry. How long does the paste last? If you put a little bit of, okay, so with the pastes in a container like this, with a little bit of, say, Glad wrap on it, just pushing down to keep the oxygen out in the fridge 2-3 weeks comfortably. And we would probably have it for longer than that as well. Okay, so 2-3 weeks comfortably. What we're probably going to do is we'll probably offer the people who are watching this, we'll sell them a tub of this if they want. We'll cry-back it, and that will be lasting. Before you open it, that will last for months. After you open it, keep it in the fridge, and 2 to 3 weeks comfortably. Okay. However, don't freeze these pastes. So if you freeze it, what happens is, as they defrost, the onions and the garlic will release juices that make it really bitter. Okay, so I wouldn't advise freezing them. Okay, so we've got our curry. Our coconut milk. All you're doing is reducing the coconut cream to, as I say, split it. Right, so whilst that's waiting, what I can do is I can show you the red curry paste. So Ek has literally pureed all those ingredients, and it's that's kind of consistency. Okay, it's not a particularly pretty looking thing. People might describe it liking it to something that babies have done in the past. But I've been told on good advice, it tastes much better. So to start the red duck curry as well. Oh, let's have a couple more questions. So if you make a meal, you wouldn't freeze the meal. No, freezing the meal is fine, but you've cooked out the curry paste. That's not a problem. So if you were to make the sauces and freeze them. Not a problem at all. Right. Tomato duck curry. So we've cheated a little bit on this. We've got the duck buns, or we've got the duck legs. We took the buns off and we've literally cooked it in the coconut milk. Okay, so we brought it to a simmer. We cooked the buns in the coconut milk. It's flavoured the coconut milk. It's slightly darkened it. All the meaty bits off the bones have come out nicely, and it tastes a lot different. It's slightly thicker as well. Okay, so this is the red duck curry. And what we're going to do now is just pass that mixture through a sieve, just to take the bones out. Dave's muscling in. Dave from the other day, he's muscling in on the act as well. He's really sad at the moment. His Arsenal at the bottom of the football table. He's just still not split in there just yet. So we might carry on with the another question. Is it as strong as strong is probably not the right word. It's the stalwart ones are more harsh. A freshly made curry paste has got far more fragrance and taste, I would say. Is how I'd answer that. Right, so now I've got I've put them together in unison. So I've now got the red duck curry, and we're basically, if you've got the rest of it in front of you, we're now in place where we add the so I'm going to add my the coconut cream. I've strained it, and I'm going to put my duck. So literally getting that strained. This is the red duck curry. Getting these strained coconut milk. I'm now putting in literally chunks of duck leg. Now we bought a whole duck. So I've got duck legs and duck breasts in here as well. Another question, sorry. Why did you put the sauce through the sieve? Just to take the buns out. That's it. If you want to lift the buns out and do it that way, no problem at all. So it's just to get the duck buns and add a basic cream. So cream, add the duck meat. Just going to let that simmer for a few minutes. Maybe I've got a bit too much duck meat there. So we're just going to let that cook out. We'll cook that for about 10 minutes. That's probably enough. So I've also got about the coconut cream. So I've got the duck, the past coconut milk, and the coconut cream. Okay. Just let that simmer for approximately 10 minutes. Right. So what I could try and do. What I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to cheat a little bit here. I've got a pan red hot, doesn't this speed up the cracking process. That's really hot. So it's kind of more of a kitchen technique. Make a bit of a mess with it. Right. Whilst we're going, that's curry. Doesn't notice, that's now come to a simmer. When that cooks it back. So literally all we've got now is just literally cooking the duck in the coconut milk and cream. Okay. Chicken or vegetarian, eggplant, bamboo. Chicken.
If there's an alternative meat to.
Is there an alternative to using duck? With the red curries, it's more indicative to the darker meats, if you like. So beef would be a good one. You know, beef in there. By all means, if you want a vegetarian option, the ones that I've come across, I think are fabulous, is pumpkin. You know, make a red pumpkin curry. That's lovely. And any vegetables you want. You know, I mean, it's up to you. The basic, if you like chicken in a red curry sauce, put chicken in. It's you're not breaking any rules. At the end of the day, if it tastes nice, it tastes nice, and that's fine. Okay, but classically or traditionally, it's more the dark meat for red, and the green curries are more the things like fish and chicken, and that's because they've got a bit more. They're a bit more cleaner and sharper in flavour, and lighter flavour or pungent flavour. It's just a difference in the pungency. So the green curries I tend to use the whiter meats, and the red curries I tend to use the darker meats. Now this is slowly but surely starting to split. So what I mean by splitting, we're really reducing it. Okay, just keep an eye on. You won't let it burn. We're not going to let it split either. So I'm literally feeling the duck. Oh yeah. So this one is just starting to split now. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a nice kind of a bit, yeah, it's a bit white, but there's some oily bits in there as well, okay? And that's kind of what you're looking for, all right? So from here, this is the green curry, isn't it? I'm getting myself confused now. So with the green curry, literally, we've cracked the cream, and all we're going to do now is add some of the paste, and literally a good couple of olives. Okay, because you want this is realistically where all the flavour is. Okay? All the flavour of the curry is in here. Okay, so you want to get it flavourful. The more you add, the more flavour it becomes. So it's simmering. Okay, so there you go. So you're just going to cook that out for a couple of minutes. And then once that's fried off for a little bit, just to help it along the way. So sorry, let me go back a bit. The reason we've cracked the coconut milk is so we have the oil, so that the oil helps fry the paste. Okay, so this is a fried paste, coconut oil. This one is boiled curry. This one is fried curry, and it's because of how you handle the different pastes. So that's pretty nicely. That's sort of all you need to do with the paste. Fry comes, you can start to smell the fragrance. You add the chicken in. So literally, this is the chicken thigh. I find chicken thigh is much nicer than breast. Breast is lovely if you're roasting it, or pan frying it, or sauteing it. But if you're boiling something, or poaching something, or braising something, the thigh becomes less dry. Okay, so thigh is a much better product if you're making a saucy chicken, and that's across everywhere. That's just the way it works. And I'd say the same for Italian food, Indian food, French food, Indian food. It doesn't matter. Okay. Curry, paste, some of the oil in there cooking. Okay. To that, we're now gonna just have the fish, the chicken. Don't know what I'm talking about fish. We'll just have chicken cooked for a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do is now add fish sauce. Now there are lots of different brands on the market. One of the ones that the one that we use here is this one called Squid brand, and it's a good one. There's another one called the best one on the market at the moment. We'll talk about something called Red Hat. I think it is. Red Hat. I think it's the brand. Harder to get hold. This is all over the place. Okay, so literally from here. So that's kind of gone really kind of yellowy green, okay, because of the turmeric. Okay, so that's the kind of thickness I'm looking at the moment. And now I'm going to just start to season as we go. Now, fish sauce or salt, right? Fish sauce is salty. But it has a kind of a really kind of ubiquitous flavour that gives real authenticity to curries. And if you think, you know, if you treat it like the Western people would use anchovies. Okay, and so a lot of sauces, things like puttanesca, Italian pasta sauce, you crush anchovies in there. Again, it's salty, but it's adding a more complex, deeper layer to your food. So yeah, sure. If you're allergic to crustaceans because it's sweet, use salt, but use this gently as a seasoning that does add flavour. Yeah, sure, it tastes very strong on its own, but heavy flavour. Taste it all the way. Right, the duck curry. The duck is now, yep. So the duck is cooked. Okay. So from now, all I'm doing is we'll cook that for about 10 minutes. I'm going to put in the that's right. Let's get a pan hot. Sorry, I'm chopping and changing, but I've got more questions there. Can we buy your duck curry for Father's Day? We've actually got a whole range of Father's Day specials coming up. So we'll be struggling to get the ducks in time, to be honest with you now. So no is the answer, but we can put duck curry on later on during the course of the week. That's quite a nice idea. But for Father's Day, we're going to be doing barbecue packs. I don't know if that will be more details of that will come out. What's today, Wednesday? Will come out tomorrow. But we're kind of doing barbecue and beer. It's kind of the thing we're doing with Father's Day. Right, so back to the duck curry. What I'm doing now is literally taking a little bit of the coconut cream. And I mentioned earlier this is the fried one, and it is. And this is how I'm frying it. Okay, so again, super smooth. And literally, I'm just frying the. You're just going to fry frying off the paste in the oil and coconut cream of the duck. Okay, and then what he'll do is pretty much he'll put this into this. He'll put the cooked duck and cream. He'll slowly build this onto the frying paste to create the curry, and that's pretty much what all it is. Okay, very simple. So that's now starting to taste. That's so great chili. So what we're doing now is just slowly adding little bits. Okay, so we're building the curry. Okay. Yeah. So what we noticed about this red curry and the green curry that we're going to do as well, they're not. You'll tell the difference of someone making a red curry paste or buying a curry paste in. They actually put food colouring in some of the boarding cases. So they look red. Okay, this one's going to kind of look beige, which is actually one of the more traditional colours. Is that correct? Yeah. Thank goodness for that. I thought I was going to say, nah, it's not. Okay, so we're slowly building that one. That's that good. Right, so we're going to go back to the green curry. That's been cooking for a few minutes. Green curry, seasoned fish sauce. So we're going to with the green curry. With the green curry now, it's a little bit thick, I can either add more stock or a little bit of water. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. But the green curry is really quite thin, yeah? Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is now add the seasonings. So they don't season with salt and pepper like we do. I'm seasoning with palm sugar. So palm sugar you're buying kind of round blocks, so you can buy them in little blocks like that. Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, if you can't get palm sugar, because you can get it everywhere, use dark brown sugar. Okay? So literally, you grate or crumble palm sugar into the. Right, you season it with palm sugar. This is quite soft. It's nice. Sometimes it can be really hard. The best way of doing that is either grating, like I was going to do there, or you can actually boil up the water and make a caramel. So obviously what I'm looking for there is the sweetness, which I've got. And I've got season it with my salt, if you like, salt. And I'm going to finish it with lime leaves. Okay. So there's my lime leaves there, and I've just torn them up. Lime leaves are fantastic, so put them at the end. That's when they come really fragrant and lovely. So I'll put that in there. Now, what I'm showing you here is literally just a basic chicken curry. You want to add vegetables to it, bamboo shoots, sweet corn, all these sorts of things are lovely. The little baby eggplants are lovely. And some red chilli. But it's all at the end because this is the garnish of the so literally we'll try and this up. So literally all this curry is, and you see it's almost vibrant lime green. So that's the curry there. Seeing it? Yes, we are. Okay. Almost luminous, isn't it? So what you'll notice about this one, and I don't know whether it comes across on the across the tubes and the screens and the visuals, is that in the kitchen this is almost luminous green, almost just fabulous. So again, that's a mark that it's a homemade curry, if you like, not a shop wall. Also, I've got some Thai basil, which we're just going to put on top like this. And apparently, in all the best street markets in Thailand, all this mess around the side is supposed to be the good thing. No? Okay. All right. So give it a bit of a white. And that is a very basic chicken curry. When I say basic, it doesn't have other bits in it. It's pure chicken. Serve it with rice, obviously. And that's just yum. I'm loving the colour of that. It's just superb, isn't it? Okay. So that's the chicken curry done. If you've got any questions on that, start typing them in, and we'll start finishing off the red curry now. So where we're at with the red curry is that this is now really quite completely opposite. This is kind of almost thick. Okay, so it's dolloping. Okay. Completely opposite of the chicken curry there. Okay, so from here, where am I up to? I'll add in my cream, moisten it with that's the cinnamon. Is that all this talking about?
No, just this sauce or this.
So I'm just going to add a bit more of the sauce. So I've got a lovely base flavour there of heat and warmth and richness. So what I'm going to add to this now is I'm going to season it with a little bit of punch. Fish sauce. So again, checking the same sort of process. Finishing it with fish sauce. Kind of seasoning. I'm not taking fish sauce at the end of it. I'm taking fish sauce now. I've got a little bit more palm sugar. Break into it. Put that down. And again, same sort of stuff. The lime leaves or mackerel leaves, or kaffir lime leaves, kaffir lime leaves. Check this. Salt. And then from there, kaffir lime leaves again. The more green chilies. Okay, so the red curry. Again, this is quite thicker. And as you can see here, it's almost, it's kind of grey pink. Right? But again, you can see it's so much thicker. Okay. Like that. Again, a few more basil leaves. So if you wanted to expand on this, you could put pumpkin in there, like I said earlier. I've always found that works really well. So these are the two curries. One thing I did want to tell you about the recipe on the green curry. I think we've written scud green chilies. That's a normal long green chili, and that's fine. But when we refer to scud or bird's eye chilies, these little puppies here. Okay. Now these ones are just, the green ones and the red ones are exactly the same. These are actually not. These are still. Okay, let me go back a couple of stages. The smaller the chili, the more heat they hold. 9 times out of 10. These are just, I'll call these small green chilies. The scuds are the really, really, really thin, small ones, and they will blow your head off. But they've got a lovely flavour. But these ones, if you can't get scuds, get these ones. These are fine. These are just ripening up. That's why they're starting to become orange and red. Okay. So that's pretty much what we've got to offer you today. Are there any more questions on that at all? Scuds only at Asian grocers? Yeah, or certainly at Asian grocers, but a lot of decent grocers would have it. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if the one on Morgan High Street, what's that called? Something like, it's not Torello's, but it's something Toscano's. Toscano's up in Morgan High Street might have them. If not, yeah, the Asian group price will have them certainly. So, well, any more questions? No, we're kind of looking good. All right. Well, we'll call that it for a week. And thank you very much. If you've got any requests, again, please feel free to shout out. If you've got any questions about this at a later date, you're not necessarily thinking about, please feel free to give me a call. Happy to go through it and work with you through it all. So you get to have a go at making them yourselves. That's the beauty of this. As I said, we'll probably have these pastes made up. If you want to buy some, give us a shout. once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the support. Stay safe, and we'll see you both next week. And thanks for that.
Thanks very much.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Oh,
Terrific.
Thank you. Bye.
see ya. Bye.
See you.
Very good.